Advertising Headlines That Make You Rich. This book is basically 20 formulas for effective headlines. You can customize these for your specific purposes to make a fortune. And in print, 75% of the buying decision is based on the headline alone. The first formula we have here is why some people. So for example, why some businesses get positive publicity almost all the time. Why some companies are almost always more productive. Why some websites are almost always more profitable. This recently has been the most successful formula for me. I ran a test on Facebook ads with a few dozen different headlines, and this was the winner so far. Why some SaaS firms grow their revenue in months, not years. So it's basically an application of this formula. I also tested different imagery. So for example, I tested money, I tested a Rolls Royce, I tested a mansion, and the picture of money was the winner. In particular, one bill instead of many different bills. Next formula, get rid of pain. Get rid of your website problems once and for all. Get rid of that nasty habit once and for all. These force the reader to become acutely aware of the problem that you solve. You're getting them in the right mindset to be receptive to buy your product. It intensifies the pain, draws attention to the pain or a desire. Expect you'll be able to solve the problem for them when they read this. Explain why it will only get worse if you do nothing. So if you do nothing, you're going to continue to lose money. You're going to continue to have virus attacks. You're going to continue to experience more pain, and your situation is only going to get worse because people are fundamentally loss averse. That's one of the reasons this is particularly effective. Prove why you can provide the solution to the problem. Invite the reader to contact you. Get the message to register instantaneously. So that means speaking in ways in words that they already understand, that they already use, using simple short words, not giving them something they need to decipher, not giving them something witty that they need to figure out as a pun. And speak the language of your customer. So one of the keys to success with your headlines is you want to enter the conversation already going on in the prospect's mind. Instead of trying to force your agenda on them, you're working with the agenda already in their mind. All right, the next formula, who else? Who wants to pay lower taxes? Who else wants a beautiful new carpet at 50% off? One of the reasons I really like this headline is because it's not just selling a benefit, but it's transitioning quickly to the product and the specific offer around that product. So it sets you up for the sale. Who else wants their payroll handed for them? Who else wants a more beautiful lawn? Use words that are familiar to them. Avoid talking about components and process, and instead talk about end results. Who else wants to add $1 million to their SaaS ARR? And again, I have a picture of money here. Another formula, thousands now. For example, thousands now take beautiful pictures who never thought they could. So the idea here is we're helping a lot of people do something that they thought they couldn't do, and there's social proof gain there when we talk about other people that did it. Proud of. Build a website you can be proud of. Own a car you can be proud of. What does your business change for your customer that they can be proud of? Give me 15 minutes and I'll have you up and running on the World Wide Web. Give me half an hour and I'll show you how to get in the best shape of your life. Give me 8 hours and I'll double your reading speed. Focus on a result you provide surprisingly quick. Here's an example of how I employ this. SaaS founder, so I'm calling out the audience here, give me 18 hours and I'll teach you how to add $1 million to your ARR. Now, this is a little bit of a twist on it. Usually you want to go with a really short time frame because that's convincing them that, they can get this quick result without much effort. In my case, there were a lot of really short, cheap courses that are out there. So by talking about how this is 18 hours, I just wanted to see how it performed, and it didn't actually perform as well as this one here at the beginning. So it's a moot point at this stage. All right, the lazy homeowner's way to beautiful floors and counters. The lazy person's way to computer mastery. Here's my example. The lazy SaaS founder's way to get 100 new customers. Do you make these mistakes? Do you make these computer mistakes? Are you making any of these financial mistakes? Do you make these web marketing mistakes? Can you spot the auto maintenance mistakes? Is your estate vulnerable because of these 7 common mistakes? Do you make these management mistakes? There are examples here where I talk about the 9 SaaS marketing mistakes. Like a pro, speak like a pro, fly planes like an expert. An example I came up with, run Facebook ads like a pro. You'll hate yourself later. If you don't get broadband now, you'll hate yourself later. If you don't get new tires now, you'll hate yourself later. Again, what I really like about these particular headlines is they're setting you up for the sale. You're not just writing headlines to get attention, but you're getting headlines that are actually going to produce some income for you. Do you recognize the 7 early warning signs of employee insurrection? Do you recognize the 7 early warning signs of a copier breakdown? Your money back. The most patient driving instructors in town, or your money back. The smoothest shave you've ever had, or your money back. See how easily you can get publicity for your business. See how easily you can get more done this new way. See how easily you can learn to fly this new way. See how easily you can get beautiful portraits made. Another formula, you don't. You don't need a genius IQ to become a whiz at your computer. You don't need a degree in fine arts to have a museum quality sculpture in your home. What's new? What's new in financial planning? What's new in advertising specialties? You could employ this in many different use cases. So for example, what's new in SaaS marketing? What's new in getting dentist clients? Whatever your niche is. 10 ways to build a secure financial future. 10 ways to serve more delicious, nutritious meals. New concept in time management. New concept in learning to drive. New concept in SaaS marketing. Announce a new product or service when you use this particular formula. Describe a unique feature or a unique way you deliver your service. The secret of mastering your computer. The secret of making customers remember you. The secret of getting your loan approved. Here, you would follow up with an explanation of what you do to maximize your chances of approval, and then invite the reader to come into the bank, and that's how you would get new customers, all starting with this particular headline, The Secrets of Getting Your Loan Approved. So we're starting with some education, and then we're segueing into a meeting with the customer, which will become a sale. Now, how-to is one of the most effective headlines. I wrote a headline once that was how to sell websites for $15,000 each. It's one of the most effective early info products that I sold, and it was so popular that it ended up being pirated. And here are some other examples. How to save money and retire rich. How to take great pictures and be proud of them. How to save time and get things done. How to totally relax and feel great. How to get a better job and make more money. How to is kind of the default headline to go with in a lot of cases. It's pretty rock solid. It's pretty hard to fail with that formula. 5 common financial problems. Which ones do you want to overcome? 5 familiar home security problems. Which ones do you want to overcome? Now, we just walked through the 20 different formulas, so these are different ways of structuring your headlines, and you can just adapt them to your case. What I recommend is instead of committing to one, test a bunch. Test them with LinkedIn ads, with Facebook ads, possibly with YouTube. Just run some quick tests before you commit to something like printing it for direct mail. All right, now we're going to move into some bonuses, so some other headlines to get inspiration. Now, have the luxury and comfort of a 100% silk suit you can afford. Cut your grass quickly and easily with the world's first safe power mower. How medicated Cuticara helps clear up skin problems. Here is a method that helped thousands to improve and renew their vital tone of youth. Little known ways to lifetime profits. 13 surefire roads to riches. Want to become financially independent? Quick relief for tired eyes. Own a Rembrandt for only $7.95. How to create a website and make money while you sleep. Here's a quick way to get your website up and running. Here's another example. Become a best-selling author online. One of my most successful courses was Become a Product Marketing Manager. And here what we're doing is we're focusing on a beneficial end result. So this is the outcome that somebody wants to achieve, and the outcome is the focus of the headline, not the process. Free ebook on recording. Beat the AdWords system. How to make deeply suspicious people want to give you lots and lots of money. Notice how over the top it is here. Lots and lots. It's repetitive. This is the kind of thing that's considered redundant in English class, but it's the kind of thing that's very effective in copywriting. Most newspaper-style headlines merely sell the reader on reading the story, but aren't designed to create interest in and desire for a product. So when you're doing copywriting, that's what you need to do. Create interest and desire. New computer chip promises better video on handheld computers. So this particular headline, a newspaper style one, is actually effective at generating interest and desire. So there's a few things that are very effective here. So it describes a benefit, it describes a product, and it's also delivering news, which is one way to really take your headlines to the next level, is introducing something that's new. The headline needs to capture attention, to keep the prospect reading, create a mood that makes them receptive to take action. We need to energize them to take action. Get off the sofa and go buy something. Prepare the prospect emotionally for the invitation you are soon to make. Now, there are different structures to use here. So there's the pre-head, which is the small text before the headline. Then there's the main headline, where you talk about the main promise. And then the subheads. So this is where you flesh out and highlight the benefit in the main headline. So often when people start, they just make one big headline, but often it's better to break it up into a pre-head, a main head, and a subhead. So here's an example. How to get lots of money for anything fast. That's your pre-head. Wanted, people who need money fast. Again, we're repeating things here to make a point. And then you have the subhead, how you can cash in on the $25,000 a day secret that's made millions. Another example, pre-head, warning. Your dreams are 911 emergency calls from your subconscious mind. Don't ignore them. They're trying to tell you something. And the last example I have here, the tip of the iceberg, or how an advertising secret that created a 6-year backlog in order for pianos can get you more business than you ever imagined was possible. Now, this is where most people go wrong with headlines. Changes in a headline can easily double or triple your closing rate, so you got to fix these. They don't reach people where they live, so they're not talking to people at the stage that they're at. So, for example, talking about the intricate features of your product when they don't even know they have a problem, they don't know what problem you solve. The headline doesn't pass the so what, who cares test. You want to stir people's emotions. Headlines that are cute, clever, obscure are generally bad. So I think novice copywriters, this is what they try to do, is come up with something witty like a pun or something funny. It's generally a bad idea. It's not a safe approach. Headline means a lot to the business, but nothing to the prospect. I see this a lot in copywriting, just talking a lot about themselves and not about what the prospect cares about. So how do you know what kind of headline to write? Start where your reader is. And to do that, you focus on the biggest benefit. Look at the end result your reader wants. Now, online, somebody was asking for feedback on a cold email that they had written. And let's take a look at it. So it's, hey X, I tried giving you a call today to see if this is something you need. We give specific type of attorneys a competitive edge in their cases. We do this by using our purpose-built AI, which performs XYZ function. This helps you build stronger arguments. So it's not until these last 3 words here. So we got through, what is it? 3, it's not till the 4th sentence that they actually talk about the outcome, which is building stronger arguments. And there's some other outcomes later too. But that's where you want to start. You start with what the prospect cares about, not about you, your product, the things you care about. The prospect may not be aware of what the problem is in some cases. So they might blame other people when stress is the real problem. So here's an example. You could write a headline that says the perfect antidote to the stress that impairs you, but if prospects aren't aware that that's their problem, that's not going to be receptive. Instead, they're going to react to something like this. How to undo what your boss, the rush hour traffic, and politicians in Washington are doing to you. This is how they're defining the problem in their minds, not in terms of stress. So you have to eventually educate them that stress is the problem, but not in the headline. Tips: use short words, not long, sophisticated words. Speak at a 3rd grade level or whatever. Arouse curiosity and desire. Study the cover headline writers use for newsstand magazines, because they live or die based on whether people react to those headlines and buy the magazines. So, for example, 7 signs you're failing as a manager. Do you recognize the 7 early warning signs of high blood pressure? And lastly, the 10 golden rules for writing powerful headlines. Number 1, be conversational, not academic. 2, enter the conversation already going on in the customer's mind. 3, use verb, visceral, which means physical, immediate language. Emotional, Resounding, in other words, sounds like someone is talking when they read the headline. Visual and empathetic. 4, walk a fine line between fact and hype. Make the biggest claim you can make and still prove in your copy. So for example, I talk about how you can add $1.2 million to your ARR, which is a big claim, especially when I say that it can be achieved in 6 months, but I have the proof to back it up. The ultimate purpose is to get the reader to read the next line. Don't summarize everything. Create intrigue, curiosity, desire, leave them hungry for more. Now, those are the things to do. Now, let's talk about the things not to do, the last 5 here. Don't be clever. Straightforward almost always works better. Don't be boring. You want action and motion driven by emotion. You want excitement, and that's what the most advanced copywriters do. They build excitement, they build energy, they add enthusiasm. Don't assume prospects know what you know. Don't write for sophisticated people, write for people who need to learn more. Don't focus on your process, focus on the end results, and don't just arouse curiosity, create desire and intrigue.